Hey, what is up, guys? It is your boy, Kingdom Soldier, and I'm back again with another commentary. And Soldier says, focus on the positive, and you might see it more often than you see the negative. What I want to talk to you guys about today is the recent infatuation from the Call of Duty community with other games. Like, what is it about Call of Duty right now, Advanced Warfare? And I haven't heard anybody say that they really don't like it. But why is it that the Call of Duty community is so drawn away? If it's not a tournament that's on, the Call of Duty community would rather watch H1Z1, and pro players would rather play H1Z1 or CSGO or other games like that. And recently, this morning I was watching ESL, and 500,000 people were watching it with me. And I found myself wondering, why is CSGO so successful? What is it about this game that garners so many more viewers than the game that I've been talking about for years and been playing for probably 4 to 5 years now? What is the difference? Counter-Strike started in 1999 by Valve, and there's only been 4 versions of the game, including CSGO, the most recent iteration, which came out in 2012. There's only been 4 versions of the game. This is one of the things that I think attributes to the success of CSGO. Imagine being a pro player on CS Global Offensive and the same game is the exact same year after year after year. So if you were a pro player in 2012 and now it's 2015 and you're still playing the same game, silencers have been added, different maps have been added to the game, they've upgraded consistently the broadcaster mode, and I'm using a Call of Duty term, but the way that the casters themselves interact with the gameplay, and are able to see what the players are carrying, what they're purchasing, how much money they have, and when you throw a grenade, the casters can just follow it across the map. I mean, there is a lot of things that can be done on PC that can't be done on console. And this is one of the other limitations that I think Call of Duty has. The first limitation is that we create a brand new game every single year, and whether it is good or not, the pro players have to play it and we have to watch it. Now you have the game like Ghost that came out, and people were like, oh, why is there a dog running around and biting me? Now we don't have usable kill streaks. So kill streaks, that whole meta was destroyed. It was brought up in Black Ops 2 and then just killed. And so the pro players had to learn a whole new way of playing the game. And now we even have Hardpoint back in Advanced Warfare, but it's a completely different game. It's not the same Hardpoint. The anchor role is not as important. It's becoming more important as they fix the spawns and change the meta of the game with the weapons and things like that. But the game itself is fundamentally different. It's night and day different, Advanced Warfare, with the exosuits and shooting grenades off your arm instead of throwing them. So much changes every year for Call of Duty that it's hard as a competitive player, and it's hard as a person that's watching to keep up. It's just really hard to keep up. And casters can't consistently learn the game and the spawns. And yeah, they got to learn different maps and the different meta when you put a silencer into CSGO, but it's completely different. A person like Mr. X, and it's funny because a lot of people I've seen on Twitter that have said to me, well, one of the big differences between CSGO and Call of Duty is the casters themselves. The CSGO casters are just better. Well, they're casting basically the same game year after year after year. What you have to learn as a Call of Duty caster is you learn a brand new game mode like Blitz, and then it just disappears. And now you got to learn a brand new game mode like Uplink, which probably isn't going to be used in the next Treyarch game. Or you're a new caster and you learn Domination on Ghost, and then it disappears for the next game, and CTF is back. And so it's a lot harder and more difficult to be a caster in Call of Duty because of how often it changes, and there are limitations on the console that the PC doesn't have. The PC, they can recreate the game like that, and they can add new things to it because it's on PC, and the options are basically limitless. When you have a console game that comes in a certain package, every time you want to change something, you have to add a whole new patch and download that the people have to download. And unless we want to download a new patch like once a week in order to change something about the game, we're kind of out of luck, and the console is going to be beyond us in that point. Now, of course, the big thing, there's another big change between, or big difference between Call of Duty and CSGO, which is the microtransactions and the betting. Are we ever going to be able to bet on our Xbox One between FaZe Red and Optic Gaming? I mean, is that ever going to happen? Or is there going to be a marketplace where we can go online for MLG on MLG's website, like you can do wager matches? Can I bet on a wager match? Can I bet on the eights that these pro players are doing? I mean, I'm just, it's kind of, it's like the league, the pro league that we have right now. Will we be able to bet on league matches and do that on like MLG's website? That's what CSGO is way beyond us, and Call of Duty is just trying to catch up. If you look at the broadcaster mode that was started like in Black Ops 2, or the COD mode as it was called back then, but if you look at the broadcaster mode, it is basically evolving to be more and more like CSGO. Like, it would be great. I would actually like it if, as I was watching competitive Call of Duty, if I saw like Censor and Apathy and Proofy and Study, like if I saw players over in the corner and the little faces, and then I could see he's carrying a bow, he's carrying an ASM1, he's carrying a bow, he's carrying an ASM1, and he has these, he has 2 stuns and a nade, or he has, like what if it showed the actual exo ability they had? I mean, that's where PC is. You know everything that every player is carrying, and you can keep up with the entire game. And what if in a 1v1, when Formal snipes somebody across the map, we could follow the bullet? Or what if we could, swiftly just follow their bullet across the map? Or Killa throws a nade from spawn, and we can just travel with it over into the enemy spawn. Soldier says the biggest difference between Counter-Strike and Call of Duty is how often we change the game. We change the game every single year, and you can't get used to it, period. And you have pub players who hate the Call of Duty competitive scene because they feel like Activision is paying all of their attention to making the game more competitive. Well, the reason, pub stompers, is that they're looking at Dota, they're looking at LOL, they're looking at CSGO, they're looking even at Evolve, which is evolving, pun intended. They're looking at these games that are slowly but surely forcing people to purchase way more beyond the $60 or whatever that it costs. LOL, free game. You just download it for free, and then you pay for all the stuff you want in the game. CSGO, ridiculously inexpensive, and then you pay for the crates that you want to get, or you pay for keys, or you pay to bet, or you pay for skins that you want, because you see someone else carrying it, or you buy a knife. You're buying little digital images because you want that digital image to be on your gun. And there is a difference. It is, I think the biggest difference, in my opinion, is that competitive Call of Duty, the game changes every year. We can't keep up. The casters can't keep up. The viewers can't keep up. And that actually is a detriment to the success of Call of Duty. And it's the reason why when a new game comes out, we look for it, because we get a new game every year. So we're used to switching games. We're used to switching to something else. And so when H1Z1 comes out, or when CSGO starts to be really popular, we start playing that, and we check out new games, and let's start playing Minecraft. Everybody in the Call of Duty community, let's start playing Minecraft. The reason is that the Call of Duty games are changing so often, and I really do wish, and some of you will disagree with me, but I really do wish we were able to keep maybe Black Ops 2 for another year instead of getting Ghost, and have 2 years of the same game, and see the potential success of continuing to have lightning strikes and, hellstorms. And yeah, we could have put some stuff in the game to change the streaks. We could have added new maps, but very arguably, some of the best maps that Call of Duty in general has ever had are on Black Ops 2. If you voted and you had asked the competitive community to vote, there's a couple Black Ops 2 maps that would be in everybody's top 5 of all the Call of Duty games that have been created. And I guess lastly, what I'll say is that CSGO is leaps and bounds beyond us because their game is competitive at its core. It's supposed to be a competitive game. They put everything and all their stuff into the competitive aspects. Yeah, they have like a deathmatch mode and all that kind of stuff, but that's for noobs like me that can't go into ranked because we're going to get annihilated. But the competitive game on CSGO is what everybody wants to play. You get better, you rank up, you play against more difficult people, and so you're playing against people at your skill level, and then at the same time, when you go and watch competitive CSGO, you're watching what you play. You're watching them use weapons that you can have. You're watching them use skins that you can purchase. And then your favorite team, envious, got into the scene, and within a month, they had a sticker for Team Envious that you could go purchase on Steam. So they're leaps and bounds beyond where we're at. We still don't have an Optic Gaming exosuit that you can purchase or a skin on a gun. Does that make sense? Not to me. This is your boy Kingdom Soldier. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. What do you think has added to the success of CSGO, and what do you think about the game? I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.